This is why narcissists will always betray you the moment they're done with you. Narcissistic abuse can have long-lasting impacts on a person's mental health. If you or someone you know is a victim of this form of abuse, you must recognize and accept the severity of the problem. Only those who have experienced abuse at the hands of a narcissist can genuinely empathize with others who have. It's because dealing with a narcissist is an experience that few people have. Questions like, "Why did you remain so long?" or "Why couldn't you see this coming?" may come up for those who have. These doubts about the validity of one's experience after a traumatic occurrence might be alienating. It's vital to keep in mind that narcissists' abusive and manipulative methods can make it hard for their victims to see what's happening and get out. Narcissists have the potential to be expert manipulators, and they frequently betray their victims once they've had their fun with them. Their victims may be left bewildered and saddened if they are discarded suddenly and without explanation. Understand that the narcissist's lack of empathy and inability to establish good relationships are to blame, not the victim's worth or value. Knowing the warning signs of being in a toxic relationship with a narcissist can help you avoid being hurt by one. Some of the warning signs are negation of your emotions and experiences on a regular basis, gaslighting and other forms of psychological manipulation, a failure to care about you as a person, an unhealthy obsession with dominance and control, putting the blame on others rather than accepting personal responsibility for one's actions. Keep in mind that there are other people who feel the same way you do, and that you deserve to be in a loving partnership. This is why narcissists will always betray you the moment they're done with you. First of all, you don't comprehend who they are at their core. Initially, a narcissist will act compassionately and thoughtfully towards you, but as their power rises, their true colours will emerge, and a monster you never knew would exist will be unveiled. This monster, though, doesn't stick around for long, and this sweet guy eventually reappears. They never reveal their genuine nature and are constantly changing positions to ensure you never lose sight of them. Having to constantly adjust your thoughts and emotions due to this instability is frustrating. Both your positive and negative emotions from various times are off, and vice versa. Healthy relationships don't alter either partner's fundamental nature. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's relationship does not undergo any sudden, unexplained transformation. But you can never tell what a narcissist will do. They might be cruel and distant one second, and then kind and angelic the next. The mind has a hard time reconciling the paradox that the same person who brings you the most joy can also be the cause of the most pain. And hence the confusion. Do they really strike you as narcissists? What good did it do them if that's the case? You may wonder why they were ideal at a specific time in your relationship. That kind of inquisition has no place in a healthy relationship. When it comes to the person you were with, why can't you make up your mind? In other words, do you know who they are without a doubt? If you've been through something similar, maybe sharing your thoughts in the comments section can help other survivors understand they're not alone. In addition, you know you should get away from the narcissist, but your emotions prevent you. This is because it is impossible to anticipate a narcissist's behavior, as they are always changing. The mere act of being in the narcissist's presence causes a chemical reaction in your brain and body, making you long for their companionship. Despite knowing that spending time with this person is bad for you, you continue to seek them out. They are not motivated by a desire to see you well. Rather, it is your own nervous system. You yearn for deep connections with other people. You immediately connected with them as you started getting to know them. Even if you want to be with them, you prefer to be on your own. This is not how normal relationships work. Though it may be painful, Sometimes you just have to stop being with the person who isn't a good fit for you. But when you're with a narcissist, you might as well be locked up. You know you have to move on, yet a part of you still wants to hold on to what is obviously doomed. Think positive thoughts about your inability to quit. What a terrible mistake they are about to make. I hope they see it. Despite your best efforts and the passage of time, nothing ever changes. The situation is actually worsening. Thirdly, you're experiencing a great deal of mental suffering and sorrow. When you've been hurt by a narcissist, you've lost both the person you were and the person you wanted to be, so grieving is more difficult. Your hopes for a better tomorrow with this person have been shattered, and it's broken your heart. You're miserable because you've given up so much for this relationship, including your time, love, career, money, children, and so on. Seeing how easily you were manipulated and duped by them during your time together has left you feeling sad. For many people, the emotional pain of being missold lies at the root of their tremendous sadness. Due to the futility of their love bombing, they betrayed you at the worst possible time. Someone always betrayed you. They made you believe that your way of thinking was the right way. It was a betrayal on their part to leave you to fend for yourself among the wolves. Then obviously, the agony you've been experiencing is justified. Nothing like this would ever happen in a happy coupleship. You feel down, but it's not terminal. It takes time and effort to recover from the pain caused by a narcissist's betrayal. Grief encompasses a wide range of complex emotions for you. 4. You are really taken aback by this. It's impossible to fathom how horrible humans can be unless you've seen it with your own eyes. Someone has stolen from you, duped you, and fooled you into believing a beautiful lie. Unfortunately, instead of giving us peaceful sleep, they gave us nightmares. They have completely flipped your world on its head with their introduction, and it has thrown you for a loop. You can't believe they have a malicious underbelly. You can't fathom the possibility that someone might change that drastically, or that they could be nothing but a lie. It's natural to doubt one's resilience when facing such tragedy. It's natural to second-guess your judgment and wonder if you're the one who overlooked the obvious when this occurs. You're a complete moron for missing this obvious opportunity to terminate the surprise. Cold, cruel, and entrapping best describe the truth about the narcissist and your relationship with them. The whole thing seems too improbable to be an act. There was zero authenticity, openness, intimacy, or familial bonding. Everything was just a cruel game they played with your life. Absolutely no one will be able to put themselves in your shoes and explain why someone would act this way. This is the penultimate one, number 5. The most recent is that you have PTSD symptoms, although it's not often linked with narcissistic abuse trauma. You have problems sleeping, eating, starting off, being hypervigilant, being chronically exhausted, having emotional and visual flashbacks, dissociating, and concentrating. Disorders of the mind, body, or hormones, such irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, or hypothyroidism are not included. Unusual symptoms such as cognitive dissonance, trauma bonding, and Stockholm syndrome make it more challenging to heal from narcissistic abuse. No such feelings occur when a healthy, normal relationship ends. A temporary low mood passes, and you find that you are beginning to feel better. To go on with your life, you must forgive both yourself and them. That settles the matter, period. There's no time to waste. Move forward immediately. There is no untied thread left. When ending a relationship with a narcissist, there is a lot to think about. Your body and brain will change in response to a very demanding and stressful partner in order to ensure your survival. and that stresses out your whole body, including your brain. They would eventually get tired, and that would cause a whole new set of health problems. If you're suffering both rare and typical symptoms of trauma, it's clear that the person you were with was really ill. In addition, there were several other problems. You have been through a great deal of suffering. Finally, before I end up this episode, I'd like to know with which of these signs you most strongly identify. Comment with your best guesses and thoughts. It's the end of today's episode. As a stopgap measure, let's make better health our top priority. Please join us again in the next video.